Okay. Hi, Tommaso.
Hi.
Thanks for taking the time. I wanted to do this interview before you're launching the campaign on SeedBlink this Thursday at 10 a.m. actually Romanian time. I wanted to do this interview in order to get to know you a bit better and the story behind Golee, how it came up, and other things. So if you can just introduce yourself a bit, and then I have some questions prepared for you.
For sure. Hi, Eric, and thank you for your time. I'm Tommaso Guerra, or Tommy, it's easier to say. Uh, and I'm the CEO and one of the co-founder of Golee. Golee is a SaaS solution to run amateur sports clubs professionally. It means that we come with our platform, with our software, and we digitize every single operation a sport club has to do during their day. So for instance, if you are a secretary of a sports club, you have to collect money from the members, or you have to monitor the financial details, cash flow, or the expiration of the medical examination. If you are a coach, you want to collect data from your training sessions, game details, and monitor growth of the players. If you are a parent, you want to know when it's time to pay, or when you have to take your son to trainings, and so on. So for every single user, you have specific functionalities.
And I mean, what's the story behind Golee? I mean, you don't just come up with this.
Yeah, it's true. Me personally, I've been a football player all my life, and I grew up in the youth sector of a professional football team in Italy. And when I was 14, 15, until I was 18 years old, I got to play with some players that right now play in Series A, or are internationally well known, as you must know Balotelli for sure, or for instance Immobile, which is the striker of the Italian national team, and some others. Aubameyang also, when he used to play, because in the youth sector he used to play for AC Milan. And eventually, but when I got to play against them, I didn't even know who they were. And then until I was 19 years old, I moved to the United States, where I was part of a college, and I got to play also in the soccer team of the college. And here I got to know their way of putting value on the youth sports sector. In fact, I had people at the stadium. I had interviews, post-match statistics of the games, and I mean, it was completely different. After 5 years, I moved back to Italy, and I saw that nothing had changed. So we started. This is why we started Golee, in order to create a platform that would valorize the youth sectors, and would help also the entire system to grow and to finally be digitized. And sports clubs are obviously our first clients, because the fundamentals of this industry is based on the clubs first.
And so how do you think that your previous experience, I mean, both as a football player, but also what you've done afterwards, influenced the way you manage Golee, and influence how you take decisions for Golee?
Look, before founding Golee, I've had some work experiences in Spain, in Italy, and also in the US. After I graduated in the US, I worked for a real estate company. In Spain, I worked in the financial department of a huge industry, huge company. And in Italy, I worked in the export department of a natural food supplement company. And so my experience was very broad, from the marketing department to the financial department to the export department. And obviously it helped me a lot to have a broader view of the operations in every single sectors. When I started Golee, I didn't know a lot about IT development. This is something that with I mean, with time you get accustomed of the way familiar with the logics that are behind it and the way of working. Obviously, at the beginning, we did a lot of mistakes because it's difficult to understand the right way to do IT development. Eventually, we realized that it was the most important thing was to have your own IT department. This is why out of the 20 people that compose our team, half of them are in the IT department. And we expect to grow even of some other members during 2022.
Okay, well, this takes me actually to a couple of questions. Like, what is an apparent failure that you faced, which actually set you up for success afterwards? Like, it changed the way you were thinking.
I mean, obviously, at the beginning, let's say, in order to do your first MVP, when you talk about IT development, you do it in the quick way. So you do a partnership with a software house, and eventually they listen to your needs and they give you a product. But then you understand that it is difficult for a software house because they have so many clients to be so focused on you, and so we lost a little time in doing all the refactoring of the product that we had, but eventually it gave us the opportunity to grow even stronger, you know. Because we faced right at the beginning some important decisions to do, and but we saw that investing actually in our team and in our people, it's an investment that eventually pays off.
Well, and this takes me actually to the team. How has the team evolved in time? Like Felice also co-founded this project with you. How did you two guys meet, and how did the team evolve in the past years?
So it is a funny story, because eventually when I moved back to, as I told you, from the United States to Italy, I did the business, let's say, the first pitches of Golee with only the idea, which was slightly different from what it is right now, and we started to do our first experiments on the market, and then eventually I met Felice, and we were in vacation together, and we didn't know each other, and so I explained to him what I was trying to do, and he was saying that he said that he had the same idea on the school sector. So because school and sports, they're pretty. There are some things that are common. Let's say in schools you have the president of the school, teachers and students. In the sport club you have the president of the sport club, coaches and athletes. So a lot of logic. You want to scout talents, you want to help them grow, you want to do all these things, and so they had some similarities. So eventually he decided to quit his job, and he was working in a software company. So he was selling software. He decided to quit his job, and then we founded the company together in Milan. We moved both in Milan because it is the best city to be here in Italy, at least, and we founded the company. At the beginning, we had a couple of friends joining us with not a lot of work experience, and then eventually with the first fundraising round, we had the opportunity to recruit more and more people. First, we focused on the IT department, and then we grew little by little also in the other departments. The recruiting was, I would say, it came natural as we were posting our openings. And since we are in the sports sector and you have a lot of passionate people about sports, when you go in an interview with a candidate, you can see that he shares the same passion as you. because eventually everybody who's been an athlete at a certain point of his life, he faced the fact that the bureaucracy or is not an industry that is digitized. So they understand the added value right away.
Okay, and well, I mean, thanks for bringing this up, because my next question would be, what is, from your point of view, the main value added that you bring to Sports Club? What is the pain that you are solving?
Generally speaking, they are more efficient. So they have more time and eventually more money, but more time to focus on their passion, on sports activities. So we cut the time they spend on bureaucracy, on running after 500 families to collect the money, on getting the sponsors for their club, on getting to making athletes know training sessions, then the calendar and so on. They can collect data from sports events so they can valorize their assets. And so you have to think that they switched to Golee not from another supplier, but what they're doing right now is literally pieces of paper or at most Excel. And they try our software and they understand right away that it saves time. The first real added value is that it saves time, and the second one is that everybody works within the same platform. Everybody from the sport club and also eventually in the federation work with our software.
Okay. And so what's the main let's say trend that you're seeing within the industry? I mean, it's, first of all, I can imagine an effort of digitizing, but what are the trends that you're seeing, and how does Golee fit into that?
So we started in late 2018, let's say late 2018 and 2019. Literally, it was us going door to door, knocking on the doors, saying, "Look, we have a solution for you." And you know, the old way of selling software or services. This is what we were doing. And probably at that time, the market wasn't completely ready to accept digital innovation. And then it occurred something that changed everybody's life, which was COVID. That in one hand, it closed up sports activities. So for over 1.5 years, no sports activities were going on. So it was a tough period for the sports industry. But on the other hand, it speeded up the process of digitization of the whole industry. Mm-hmm. So what happens now is that we do calls with 70 presidents or secretaries linked at the same time in a Zoom call. Okay. And it was completely impossible even to think of it before COVID. Mm-hmm. So it speeded up the process of digitization. We managed to survive during this tough period. And right now we are in the lucky position to be a structured team and company with a solid product ready to conquer a huge virgin market. Mm-hmm. Because there is no a market leader right now, and okay. This is what we want to become in the next couple of years.
And so, what is let's say your plan for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years, and also what is the vision that you're bringing to the table also for the team and the investors? Mm-hmm.
So what happens right now is that as I told you right now, the real opportunity here is that an industry that was completely closed, it opened up. It says, okay, I'm ready to get digitized. Also, for instance, UEFA is pushing all the federations affiliated to UEFA to do investments towards digitization. Mm-hmm. And it's the first time, it's really the first time in the history. So we validated some metrics that are really important. the fact that we can scale very fast. We can our clubs acquisition it can scale very fast in Italy, in football and other sports, but also internationally. In fact, we have our first clients also in Spain, in France, and in Portugal, and they follow the same metrics that we're having in Italy. Actually, it's even cheaper in some of these countries to get a new customer. And so eventually, what happens is that they subscribe on Golee. They base their operativity, the daily tasks in our platform. So we generate a strong lock-in effect. Mm-hmm. Try to imagine that you do your financial tasks, administrative tasks, and sports monitoring activities through our products. Then to switch to another supplier, it's very time consuming and it's it's a pain to do it. Yeah. So our priority right now is to keep on penetrating the market. We want to reach as soon as possible 10,000 clients and then 100,000 clients. Mm-hmm. When we reach 10,000 clients, eventually we'll have more than 1 million athletes in our database, which means also 1 million families. Mm-hmm. Okay, in our database. And then the second step, the second phase, is to monetize our community. Mm-hmm. So first of all, we'll do partnerships with other suppliers of products and services that want to sell to our community. For instance, sports equipment suppliers or sports insurances and so on. Also because the sports insurance suppliers and sport equipment suppliers, they sell to sports clubs door to door. Yeah. Or when they want to sell, I don't know, even soccer boots, they do it through regular social networks. While with us, we have the real target, we have the athletes. And then the other asset that we'll be creating is the database of the no professional sports. In fact, right now, you have structured database for the professional world. Nobody knows anything about the no professional world. And so this is something that we'll be creating. Okay. Priority is clubs acquisition. And because the industry is ready right now, the momentum is magnific.
Okay, so and if you can summarize what we talked about until now into one sentence, like why would investors choose you right now? Why would SeedBlink investors invest in Golee at this moment?
Because it's a product ready to scale in a virgin market that recently opened up to digitization. Okay. And if it's not us, it's going to be somebody else. But for sure, somebody is attacking the market in the next few years. And we're lucky that right now, there is not a structured market leader, which is what we want to attack, what we want to be.
Okay. Well, thanks. I mean, I really enjoyed the answers, and I think they're a nice added value to the documents that you've provided. So, well, good luck on the campaign.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, and let's hit that target and then also oversubscription amount.
Thank you so much, Eric, and I'll talk to you soon then.
Will do. Thanks.
Thank you.